Okay, we have 3 classes in World Challenge. We have GT at the high end, then we have GTS, the middle class, and then we have touring car. Now the touring car class is our most cost-effective, affordable way to come pro racing with us. Stock suspension pickup points, stock rubber bushings, 17x8 wheel limited, stock engines internally. So basically you do a really nice suspension system, set up your car well to work well on the racetrack, do all the safety equipment, and bring that car to the track ready to race. And we're trying to keep it so that someone can be competitive in the touring car category for around $60,000.
Hi, I'm David Twatty, owner of the number 69 Total Oil TLMUSA.com Honda Civic Si in the World Challenge Touring class. A lot of these cars start off as showroom stock racers that the weekend racer can just buy and drive. Obviously the modifications become a little bit more intensive, but it's nothing that is out of the reach of a regular club racer. The suspension that we use in this car is a direct bolt-on. There is no modifications to the pickup points or anything like that. There is fully adjustable double suspension that we use. And it combines a lot of the OEM pieces, like the rear brakes in our 69 Honda Civic Si are stock pieces you buy at your dealership, while the front brakes are the high-tech, stop-tech 4-piston variety. So we take a lot of specialized racing pieces together with the OEM pieces to make our race car.
GTS, the next category up, that class is designed for the guys that want to make a real race car out of a street car. And what we're allowing, the extra modification GTS, you can run monoball, spherical ball joint suspension, you can run some more carbon pieces on the car, you can run a wing and a splitter like we see, a smaller splitter than a smaller wing than GT, but the same splitter package as GT. So those cars are more like GT cars. You ought to be able to build a competitive GTS car for around 100.
Hi, I'm Brad Adams from New Orleans, Louisiana. I drive the car number 75, the Voodoo Music Festival Ford Mustang. And we drive in the World Challenge GTS series. The touring cars would be slower than the Mustangs. The GT cars would be much faster. And it makes for very interesting racing, because not only am I looking in my rearview mirror for the closing speed of the GT cars, I'm trying to gauge my pass on the cars I'm catching. And yesterday, for example, in I think it was turn 10 at St. Pete, I'm trying to pass 3 TC cars in turn 10 while 2 GT cars are overtaking me. At some point I just found some clear space and hold on and give it the gas.
You go down to your dealership, you pick up a Mustang GT, or you look on Autotrader.com or any of the places that you can find a Mustang, you pick yourself up a Mustang. And then you have any cage shop put a cage in it, and you basically could go racing almost like that. The upgrades that we get to do to get more performance out of the cars, of course we could do a shock package, which is open, so a Penske or a Sachs or any of those kind of brands can be put on the car. It's left up to the team, so there's some flexibility. We're also allowed to do some engine modifications. Most all of it is bolt-on, and the beauty is all of it can be bought at fordracing.com. So we get a mass airflow sensor improvement, we get a throttle body improvement, Basically, everything that you could buy and bolt on and drive your street car every day is all that the car is.
Now in the GT category, that's our premier class, and that's the showcase, and that's the real race car. I mean, you can spend $300,000 or $400,000 building a GT car. However, you don't have to. Our target to build a competitive GT car is around $200K, a little less than that, like a Corvette. And what we're working towards in that category is a lot more carbon, but stock shaped bodies. We don't want to see flares. We don't want to see big. It's not a Trans Am class. We don't want to see all that funny car stuff. We want it to look like and smell and taste like a production car that you come to the racetrack and see, that looks like your Corvette, looks like your CTS-V, looks like your Porsche. So the Porsche Cup car is the foundation for the GT category. That car's about 200 grand, and so that's really what we're shooting at. Those cars typically run between 450 and 500 horsepower, have full monoball suspensions. Of course, all three categories are running on slicks, you know, so that definitely has going to increase the performance levels for all three classes for 2011.
Hi, I'm Randy Popst. I run a Volvo S60 and I run in the Pirelli World Challenge GT class. We're the reigning 2010 champions in GT. And well, my car was supposed to be here, but our K-Pax Volvo did not survive the wars on the streets of St. Pete. We ended up in the wall after leading both races and finishing 5th in the first one. Really two very clear, different kind of cars in GT. We've got some luxury sedans, basically, like my Volvo S60 or the Cadillacs, which just showed up this year. And then we have the world's greatest sports cars, the Dodge Viper, the Chevrolet Corvette, Porsche 911. And the sports cars are not as highly modified because guess what? They come hot to trot. While the sedans are much more highly modified. My Volvo 60 is making twice the horsepower it made on the street. And it really has a darn near stock engine with a giant turbo on it. Whereas the Cadillac, from what I can tell, underneath it's all race car. And this variety is managed so that the cars have really close performance. I mean, our top times were all within a second. I think the top 8 or 10 cars at St. Pete we're on the same second. And working in traffic, it's a challenge. We have a little 2.5 liter 5-cylinder Volvo engine with a giant turbo. And the boost is up about 26 pounds. And when I see a little hole in traffic and I want to shoot into it, I got to wait on that boost to build. Whereas a Viper with 600 pound-feet of torque gets it instantly. It makes it a real challenge. Also, we have all-wheel drive, which is a great advantage out of the tight corners for putting power down, and especially on the starts. But because of that, the rules cause us to be the heaviest car in the class by far. And it's a balance, it's a real trade-off. The weight also just gets heavier if we win. Every time we win, there's a rewards weight system that'll add weight to the car. And we've won a lot over the years, and that's a challenge, it really is. But you know what, it keeps the racing so close.
How you doing?
Get out.